if you're watching this video, it means you want to become an au pair and you want to know, how do I attract host families? This video is not going to guarantee that you may not find a douche host family, or you may never go into a rematch. That is up to you and God. However, I am going to give you points or tips to prevent that, and also to help you create a profile that is appealing to host families, that attract host families, that is nice and clean, make host families want to talk to you, and make you, my goal is to make sure that you have a lot of options basically, and like choose from the right host family, and not choose host families just because you're stressed and nobody is calling you or texting you or trying to create a video call with you. I hope that makes sense. The first thing that's going to help you attract a great host family is, and I've said this a lot of times, drum roll, a great cover picture. Meaning, smile. A smile is universal. So even if English is not your first language, even if writing is not your greatest strength, even if talking on video is not your greatest strength, a smile is literally universal. A smile says a lot about who you are. And so when they come on your profile, make sure the first picture they see is you smiling. They mustn't see you sitting with kids, as I've said before, and you're like this, or they mustn't see you half naked where you're smiling but they can see your whole chest. You must remember that this is a mom and a dad looking at your profile. And so if I'm, like, let's be realistic. If I, for example, was a wife and we're looking for an au pair or a nanny or whatever, and the first profile I see or the first picture I see is you with this top that is super low. Yes, you're smiling, but it's like super low. I'm gonna be like, no. And I'm not saying like we're judging women or we're telling women how to dress. It is still a job at the end of the day. So be respectful because they're still your bosses. But yeah, like a decent, clean picture. There mustn't be stuff at the back. You like taking pictures and the dishes are dirty, or you're just in the kitchen and you're like sloppy. It's like you don't want to be there. It's literally like your picture's just like this. Or you're like, you don't want to do this, you don't, like, smile, like show them your face, show them like your features. Like if you like one side, you can smile to the side or another side. Try avoiding using like filters. When I say filters, like, you know, like the dog filters or the cat filters, or you know, like those things. Now if you just want to use a brightening filter, I don't see anything wrong with that, but don't be like using a filter where they really can't see your face. You're like laughing, but it's like, it's not your face. On the other hand, you don't have to get professional pictures, because some of them, like some people get professional pictures. If you want to get professional pictures, each to their own, but you don't have to have a whole professional photo shoot in the beginning, especially the ones with the kids, because that's gonna look super staged, where you have kids in there and it's like you guys are like having a full-on photo shoot with these kids. They're gonna be like, yeah, I don't know. But make sure your cover picture is like warm, welcoming, and you guys know what I mean, like smiling, happy. They must see your face. Even if you have a picture where you like holding people, but you the focus of the picture, and or like they cropped out or something, I don't know, but make sure the first picture they see of you is like a warm, welcoming, smiley picture. A picture where you're like, oh, like I want to get to know that girl, you know. Number 2, and I'm gonna roll a clip where my host mom talks about it, but good grammar. I can't emphasize how much good grammar matters. Now, I'm not saying that your sentences have to be super perfect, or you have to come with these bombastic words like the eclipse, I'm ecstatic. No. Simple, real, but make sure you check your grammar. I always say get somebody else to check it for you. If you're a great writer, if like you studied or you're just known for great writing, then great, that's who you are. But if you're not, this is not like writing a caption on YouTube. Just write who you are, get your friends to check it. If English is not your first language, get somebody else who maybe is stronger in English. Or if you're in a country where, let's say, for example, you're going to Italy and your host family requested your letter in that in their language, then maybe get somebody who you know is fluent in that language. But I feel like most agencies want you to write it in English anyway, but just make sure you have good grammar, because I know I always say this, but in the video where I had my host mom in, the one I'm showing you, or can I show you, she talks about it. She was like, I was attracted to the way you the way you typed. Like, you wrote this letter and it was like the grammars were correct, and I was like, huh. And mind you, I wrote it out first, and then I got my best friend to proofread it and change what needed to change and word what needed to word, because I can be very, like, I'll be very meaty or lengthy when I write stuff. So she just took out the unnecessary things, or she took out stuff that I was like, if she felt like I was saying stuff like too many things a lot or repeating stuff, she was like, yeah, we don't need this, we need that, you know, that whole thing. And then she was also like, dude, make yourself sound amazing. Like, you are a great person. These are the things we like about you. Put that in there. And so I would advise you to do the same thing. Going off all that, be honest. Like, in your video, in your letter, with the person that's helping you with your whole process, don't lie and say, I love to cook. Knowing very well that you fine with cooking 3 times a week, or you cook to survive. I like to cook genuinely, but I didn't put that on my thing because I didn't want that expected of me. You know what I'm saying? And so when I came here, like, I cook, but it's not required for me to cook all the time, you know? And I cook when I want to cook, and I cook when I wish to cook, with those things. So don't say, especially when it comes to things like, oh, I like doing this, and this, because you're gonna get here and it's like exaggerated. Don't like exaggerate. Be honest about yourself, and also ask yourself, like, hey, if, and I'm not saying families are gonna do this to you, but let's say if you say you like cooking, you like cleaning, you like this, say, hey, would I be okay if they say I need to cook and clean every day? Now, you're not supposed to be doing stuff like that, but I'm just saying, be realistic. Now, you can say, if you really do like art and you're an artist and you don't mind, say it. Like, be honest. Don't lie and say, I'm a strong driver, knowing very well that you're not a strong driver, or you're not even sure if you are a strong driver. Because with me, when they asked me about my driving skills, I said to them, I'm going to be honest, with my second family, my first family, I was like, I'm still a bit nervous. We drive on different sides of the road, that whole thing. But yeah, so yeah, be honest, don't exaggerate, because you're going to be living with these people. So now we're going to the part when they call you. So that was like before they call you. Now it's when they call you. Do not, I repeat, do not seem desperate, because that just shields your whole vision. And I know some people are desperate for change. Some people have been sitting at home for a while. Some people just want to leave their home country. All these things, I understand. But don't seem desperate, because it's actually annoying sometimes to host families, or most of the time, when you constantly hello, texting them, calling them, just the whole time trying to figure out, when can I come, when can we match, are we gonna match, do you want me, no. Like, don't see, even if you know that you're stressed and you are desperate, don't come across that way. Be civil, be prim and proper. I promise you, there are great host families out there. You are gonna find the one that is a perfect match for you. There are always host families looking for au pairs, but don't be desperate. Don't nag them. Don't like text them like, hey, are we still gonna call? Are we still gonna call? If they say we're gonna call on Friday at a certain time, be like, okay, cool. Be like, hey, I'm just checking to see if we're still on for tomorrow. But do not be desperate, y'all. There's too many au pairs that nag host families, and it becomes annoying, and they're like, oh no, I can't even, this au pair seems too needy. And then lastly, I think this is number 5. Ask a lot of questions. Ask them, like, what is your day to day? What is required of me? Can you give me an example of what exactly I'm going to be doing today? Like, give me a run through, for example, it's a typical Tuesday. What is it gonna be like? Ask a lot of questions. Don't assume. If you don't understand something, ask questions. That's why you're having these FaceTimes and these video calls. Because for me, one of the things looking back, I should have asked, and this is one thing I regret. One of the host families were like, oh, he's just a hyper kid. And in my head, I assumed because the kids in South Africa are hyper, it's the same thing. You're dealing with kids from different countries. So remember to ask. If they say, oh, this kid is like this, say, oh, can you give me an example? Or can you whatever. Because even with my current host kid, they were like, oh, they were talking, and I was like, is he allergic to anything? Is there like anything I would need to know, or medical issue, or that kind of stuff? And they're like, no, he's a pretty easy kid, da 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 da. And so that is it for today's video. Let me know if you're becoming an au pair, what agency are you going with? Comment down below, because I would love to find out. And let's see also where are you from, because you could be coming with one of your friends, for example, or there could be another girl from your area also coming to Aupair. But that is it. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.